Hey, good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring and Hire Show. Hey, tonight is a great topic for staffing companies, for corporation, and it's change. Why do we need to change? I'll be right back after this. All right, good evening. Hey, tonight's show is I wanted to talk about change. Why, why do you need to change? And just that one word, how things can change in your life. And, you look at while you're on LinkedIn, you see a lot of quotes, a lot of great quotes, right? Everybody's underneath them. Yes, that's the truth, and yeah, we should be more like this. Here he is. Hey, Ken, how you doing? He's always awesome. He's always on the show. Ken, I see you everywhere. Every time I go on a live show, I saw you on last night. So I was like, wow. I said, I guess we're connected in that way. But Ken's a great contact also to reach out to. And Alex, say welcome and reach out to Alex. All these are great colleagues of mine that come on the show and ask questions. But tonight, when I talk about change, I look at it as, I'm gonna give you an example. Like your faucet is dripping water in your house, right? Dripping water. What do, right? You fix it. Simple, right? Your roof's leaking. What do? You don't let it keep going, right? You don't let it because it's going to cause problems. So what do? You fix it. Listen, if your child is having issues at school, you want to make sure he or she gets the right tools, right? Because you fix it. You want the best for your child or your family. So what's he saying? Oh, Alex Chambers, he's in here. Kenny welcomes everybody. But the reason I say it tonight like that is because change equals growth. And why do we change? Why do we need to change, right? And I ask the question sometimes, what would you do in today's world if you owned your own company and had 300 to 400 people? What would you do? What would you do differently? What do you think you could do? How could you convince your company you have a good idea? Or would you take an idea from an employee, right? If it's your company, would you? There's two sides. Would you change, or would you take the advice and change because they gave you the idea? Hey, there's Tim. There's the main Northeast PA. Another great colleague to reach out to everybody here. Tim, he does a lot on social media. Kenneth and Alex, I'm sure, team up with him. He's got a great ideas all over the place on social media. A great show too. But what would you do to get more employees if you own the company? What would you change, right? Think about change equals growth, right? You change something because you need to make it work. So why are people leaving your work, right? Do you want to find out? Do you want to know why? Do you need to change to figure it out? But if people are leaving your employment, there's a reason. There is a reason why they're leaving. And I say this respectively, but I know I hear constantly all the time, there's no staff. You got to get over that saying. You have to sit there and say, I don't care that there's no more staff. I'm going to find the candidates that I want because I need to change my process or the company's process, right? You need to change it. What if you found out they're leaving for a bad supervisor, let's just say, right? Constantly, right? You need to change. You need to change management. That's an also one. So we got Alex here. He says, I would learn to hire for potential and train them well. That's what I would do. And he is right. Again, right on target there. I guarantee that everybody that's watching this or later on would say 10 different things that they would change, but sometimes they're afraid to change, and say that to the company or the staffing agency because, your job or anything like that. But, what if you actually acted on some of the ideas? What's the worst that can happen? You find the people. That's it, right? Is that a bad thing? No. And I say change equals results, and change is winning. Change is winning. To me, change is results. If you want to make that change, you want to show results for what you've done. If you don't do anything like you are now, some companies, right? They are going to struggle. This is not even peak season yet. We still got about another 2 weeks. And let me tell you, it is going to kick in gear, and candidates are going to go to a company that really stands out with their culture, their pay rates, and benefits, and really work-life balance. They're going to be looking for that, and they have so many options right now. So don't blame it on there is no staff, because you have to find which one works and change to get there. What are you going to do to find that perfect candidate? Change management. We talk about change management. What does that mean? Hey, listen, if your management team isn't working and you own that company, what are you going to do? You're going to provide them the tools to work really well with, right? But if they don't do what you say, or if they're not showing results, you're going to change management. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you have someone toxic, if you have people in your organizations that are toxic, that cause problems, you need to just kick them to the curb. You need to get them out. There's nothing wrong with change management at certain times, because some people just do not listen. They don't. They know the person's a problem, right? In the management, they know that manager, middle management, even regional director, they know why, because everybody talks. You know how gossip is, right? Act upon it. Talk to people. Get out there and talk to them about what would you like to see us change? What would you like to see different in our company, right? That's just the way it works. And would you change the pay rate right now? Kenny, would you change the pay rate? And you're at, say, $18 an hour. You have great perks. You have a great company culture. And it can be in logistics, or it can be in, into professional services too, hybrid schedules and all that. Would you change the pay rate just to compete with another company that's just jacking it up, that's really not that well? They don't have work-life balance. They don't have anything. They're going to work you to the bone. Would you change that pay rate? I would, personally, because I want to be able to, just because that company, listen, there's a lot of companies out there right now that are offering numerous extremes about hourly rate. They are not going to survive. They are the ones that are changing for right now. They're changing right now. I saw it say, right? They're making a change. They're going to go boom. But you know what's going to happen when this starts to all simmer down? The ones up here that just put that money out there, they're going to be the ones that are going to struggle, because you have a good company right now, right? That listens to their employees, that listens to their ideas, listens to about what shifts they should be on, listens about the benefits, right? You have them talking like I'm talking tonight about my employer. Great company. You want to get that out. Why? Because it's changed to step out of your comfort zone. Step out, do some videos, get out there and let people know who you are. I say it all the time. Do I enjoy doing videos at night? No, not all the time. I do like the show. I love it. But sometimes I might not feel like I want to do it, but you have to do it. You have to stay consistent, for your audience, like my colleagues that come on the shows all the time, or your audience that you're trying to get your message to. You're not going to succeed if you stay low. If you stay in that zone right here, right, in staffing, and let's just say you're not finding those people, you need to change every week. You cannot continue to, if you're 100 people, 200 people short, it is going to be a struggle. But even these big companies that are right now in the Lehigh Valley, that I know all of them, boy, I know them all. And I know what they do, and I know how they act, and I know where they do it for their jobs. But they're the ones where I know to go after. It's enjoyable just to go after those companies and get your message out to them so they come to you. That's the name. It's change. Somebody else wouldn't want to do that. They're not going to get their message out. They might not like doing a video, but they do great, like some kind of new social media platform. They're really into something else that gets to their audience. Let them do it. Let that employee or staff member, let them do it, because you're going to succeed. You're going to see the difference from all the different kind of platforms, and we're going to talk about them. And Tim, you know about social media. You know it very well. And I know you're going to say the same thing, is people don't give it a chance. They'll say, well, we threw tons of money at it, right? It didn't work. Well, you didn't probably do it properly. Well, we've spent numerous times on ads, changed them to different locations, tried different messages on Instagram and all this. No, because you probably didn't do it right. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. There is nothing wrong with not knowing, but it takes change in your organization to do that, right? I mean, it takes everybody. Dave Wilson knows everybody. That's right, Ken. But I'm going to say that. It's okay. I'm glad you say that, Ken, is because what I want to say on this, again, respectively, I know my area, the Lehigh Valley. I know because I look at all the platforms. I know who's hiring. I am the admin on 2 of the job boards in the Lehigh Valley. 4, 5, 6,000 people. I have to improve those posts. Smart, Ken. So when companies come to the sites, they post their jobs, I have to approve them. Now, I approve all the ads. I don't want anybody to think I approve all the ads that look appropriate, that are really legit, because I don't do it. I do it for them because it's a great job board, but I get the insights. I get to learn what every single company every day is doing in the Lehigh Valley. I can tell you their pay rates. I can tell you their schedules. The reason being is because I've changed my mindset. I've changed how I think. I've changed that. Listen, again, look at some of the companies now, benefits, right? You can go on some of these job boards and tell which companies have changed up their benefits. What is a good benefit? We've seen companies now offering vision and dental free for your children. Listen, that's priceless. I'm telling you, if you got a family of 3 or 4, priceless. Some of the companies are winning that because they're willing to make that change. They're not changing their hourly rate. Again, if you had a company, A and B was offering $2 more an hour, and A wasn't, but A was really good with family benefits, with just work-life balance again, and B just jacked that price up, and they're going to fail in the long run. They're going to struggle. It's going to come back. What would you do? You're going to choose that company that really takes care of you and has work-life balance, that isn't going to gouge you for all these higher prices. That's what's going on. Some of these companies, the bigger ones, are going to win right now. But the turnover, it's not working for them. It is not working because they're leaving, because those companies aren't changing, because every day they go, this is what we hear. So candidates are always saying, well, they treat us like numbers. Okay. How would you change it? Ken, Alex, what would you do, Tim? How would you change it? How would you change if your employees were saying, wow, all they do is treat us like numbers, and you have 1,000 people in there? What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do if the upper management, you have, like we said, upper management that just doesn't really change anything, doesn't really listen? What would you do? Again, what would you do? You have to change. I know I keep saying that word because that's what I want to emphasize tonight. Change of how you operate, change of how you treat your employees. What if employees were saying, the company down the street was giving daycare, all right, 100 weeks daycare if you have children, right? What do? Do you leave your company that you're out for somebody that's great and offers more perks? This one is awesome. Geez, Alex, you're right on point tonight too. Is what he's saying is, listen, develop them personally in their careers. If you would offer, listen, I've seen companies now they're starting to offer, online courses, right? I think it's great for entry level to middle management. Put that education out there and let them sign up for classes. Let them sign up for things for Word, Excel. Give them the skills and a path that you can have that employee grow. If you're going to have that employees come in and they don't see that they have a path, just like he says, to grow, they're going to leave. They're going to leave because let's just say 3 out of 10 candidates really want to grow. When they come into a job, they look around, they see what's going on, and they can tell whether or not that company is going to offer them development and growth in their careers. So that's a great one, Alex, but that's the truth. They will see it, and you're going to get called out on it because companies aren't saying it out enough. They're not on the platforms like LinkedIn. They're not on the social media because they're afraid of putting themselves out there. The negative things about a company. Listen, all those things, you can change all that. You can put a stop to that. There's all different settings. Hire a person that knows social media and you don't have to worry about anything like that. But I like what he said, Alex said here about personal investment. And I'm telling you, that's a winning. Some of the other perks that I've seen, they give gift cards, bonuses, lunch, daycare, gym care, better health care. It goes on and on and on. I heard today, I could not believe it. Companies are offering a bonus just to come in for the interview. They're offering $50 if you show up with a gift card for $50 to show up for that interview. That is so, I'll tell you what, I got to give it credit. I got to say it because there's got to be something in it there. They're just not going to hand you $50. But maybe they do if you $50 and you get hired. It's got to be something like that because I'm saying, man, if you were just going to give me $50, I'm going to come over on the lunch break and I'm going to apply. That's just what it is. All right, we got Michelle. Hey, man, how you doing? Absolutely, employees stay to grow. And he's right there. As I saw it today, you can tell when you're hiring someone, you get that sense of feeling like you look at their background, you look at the way they progress. There's nothing wrong with that. I would go after those kind of candidates that look at that like, wow, look at that person. They've moved up. Some people get intimidated by that. If they're too much experience, they're going to say, oh, no, he's not qualified. Get the hell out of here. Don't be afraid if someone else is better than you. In my experience that have been on my team, right? I would hire the best, the most qualified that I could do that. The reason being is not because I'm worried about my job. It's because that person is going to excel so high for you that you don't have to be around and you're not going to have to worry about the decisions they make. You're going to look successful and so are they. They all are going to be successful. Your team will excel if you bring on somebody with a lot of great experience. That's a fact. It's not going to change. Hey, Stephanie, she's on here tonight. Where can I get my gift card? I'm telling you, Steph, we'll put that on a resume. Did you come for for your $50 bonus for coming and say, hey, get a free resume while you're at it, right? You could do something like that. But seriously, reach out to Stephanie if you are looking for a great person for resumes. Reach out to her, and she's the best. And we're going to be doing a show shortly. I'm looking forward to it. But look at all the different things that companies I'm doing. So the next one is I call change equals results. Change equals results. It doesn't get any better than that. I mean, anybody can know what it is. A new cash flow interview. Telling you, let's do this. Let's say, hey, $75, come on out, get your resume made and a free interview for $75. We laugh. But somebody's doing it for $50 right now, and I know who they are. I'm not going to call it out. I can't do that. I don't want to get into LinkedIn jail or any kind of Facebook jail. But, think about those things when you're doing it. So why do they need to change? So again, is it management? What's the reverse? If you changed management, is it going to make you succeed? Is it going to show you results, right? Is it because of the financials of the company that they just can't afford it? Listen, some companies with 100 employees or less, even 10, 15, 20, they're the ones that are really, really suffering right now. They don't have that high cash flow. You're not going to have that. They cannot offer these huge bonuses. When I see these 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, that is, eventually it's got to stop. It has to stop eventually, because you cannot sustain that kind of hourly rate. You are not going to be able to afford candidates at $25 to $28 an hour in entry level. Now, I know some people will say, well, they need to start paying a living wage. And I get that. I really do. But respectively, if you own that company of 20 employees right down the street, and you were only paying, say, 12, 13, because it was college, people out of school during the summer, and now they got to try to compete with $18 to $25 an hour. They need to change, but they don't have all the tools. Some of them I feel really sorry for, because they can't make too many changes. There's only so much they can do. If it's an ice cream company down here, listen, if they're putting ice cream cones, summer's over, right? There's only so much they could charge or so much they could give away. Their margin lines are so small. What Stephanie says, new cash flow. Oh, I thought you just said that. I think so. Yeah, I did. I already read that. But think about it. So change equals results. And sometimes, the employees do not want to say things. They don't want to, are they going to lose their job? Let's see here. So they're going to lose their job. Many of these 10-employee companies have a hard time to pay for both health and dental insurance. It's expensive. Again, leave that there for a second. The small businesses, I'll tell you what, I feel if I could help them, if I could send them as many candidates as I would for free, it doesn't matter to me on my own. I would love to just say, go down there. They're hiring. They're a great company. You need to do this, because I feel so, I tell you, I don't know. I get frustrated, as you can tell, enough in staffing. But when somebody calls you desperate saying you have employees, and when they say, well, they're paying $12 an hour, everybody just, no, we can't help you. That's the problem. You need to say yes. And the reason I'm going to say you need to say yes for smaller companies is because you might not be able to fill them all. Seriously, you might not. Don't sit there and say, no, we can't staff for that because it's only $12 an hour or 10. Why would you say that? Because that's like insult to a company that's calling you for help. So this way, just think of it this way. If you have a branch with 15 friggin' jobs behind you, right? And 2 or 3 candidates walk in and they say, no, we don't like any of them. But if you said, well, you know what, down the street, we have somebody that's looking for a hardware store, somewhere at Lowe's, or not, can't say that, but somewhere at a company like a construction company, they really need some laborers. They pay very well. Boom. That's all it took, right? So don't say no. If you're in the staffing industry, don't say no. Let them know, how can we help you? How can we help you? Because when all this stuff is all over, they're the ones that are going to become knocking at your door. I'm sorry about it. Change is dissatisfaction, time, vision, first steps, resistance. Michelle, that's perfect. I love that right there. And it all comes down to something like what he's saying here, because it's one thing after another, and it leads to the end results. And let's see. Oh, Alex, don't get me started on broken healthcare system. Oh, you know it. Fortunately, I'm employed for over 33 years. Employers savor the flavor. And Ken, you're doing something that you love, and you've said that a couple of times tonight. I think it's great when you love your job. There's nothing like it. But seriously, in the staffing industry, don't turn anybody away because they can't afford to pay, or if a company calls you, that again is going to get you hurt because they're asking for assistance. You are a staffing company. Why would you say, no, we can't sell your job because it's only $12 an hour? Makes no sense, because behind you is kind of like a menu. When your employees come into a branch, into staffing, right? And if they have 14 to 15 companies behind that board, and it's like a menu, they're going to look, oh, I can't do that shift. I can do this. Well, this one's paying 15, but the one that pays 13 is a day shift. You get my point? So I'm going to take the one on the day shift. They chose it because family, and they can only work day shift. nobody's going to win or lose by doing that. So that's something that I would definitely suggest that some of the companies change that thought process. Yes, I would say yes to everyone. I don't like, man, I'll tell you what, by helping people and giving even free advice, by having colleagues reach out to you for the message and ask you your advice. You know, everybody that's on this show that I know personally and, you know, from on LinkedIn, and I trust them to where if somebody on LinkedIn would have a question on a resume, right, I would send them, you know what, I got a perfect person, Stephanie, reach out to her. You know, with Michelle, would open with video Vimo. It's a great kind of like a new video resume screening, and I'm going to talk about it on another show, but for job boards, it's great. So by knowing people, you can help them, and they're going to remember that. They're going to remember every single thing that you've done for them. Even Tim, I used to learn on Tim's shows, even though I love social media and I feel I'm really great at it. There's other things that other people know that you got to listen. You got to listen to that other person and give them a chance. Give them a chance to show you something that you can change. If that person's paying $12 an hour, maybe there's something you can sell them on. Maybe, like I said, sell that person the job, not the hourly rate. Simple. Sell them the job, not the hourly rate, and tell them, you know, in 6 months when all this freaking stuff's over, and then they're going to come out ahead, because again, those companies are going to start lowering. It's going to start eventually come back down. They can't sustain it. So, I'm trying to think how to say this next one. I said to myself on my notes here, go back in reverse. I think I've hit a lot of all the subjects on that form. But the newer systems out there, right, for hiring, this is one of the last subjects here, but a lot of people won't take the chance and take it on a new idea, a new video resume screening, Vimo, you know, new type of job boards, new ATS system that is out of this world, right? Let's see. Oh, here's Ken. Fortunately, I'm employed for 30 years. That is true. I know. Oh, you already said that. See my brain. But think about that. A lot of the companies are, no, we can't do that. Nope. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You have to stop, listen, just listen, and then speak. That new process that you've been utilizing for the last 10, 15 years might be old. Oh, yeah, but we use this. We use, like, let's just say ADP. We use all these different systems, right? Lord forbid if you come out with a great idea that's really going to help you in your company. That's really going to be like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on that. But it takes you as the employee or in the office that has to deal with this crap, has to deal with it. That's an ATS system that's freaking 20 years old. You know, go out, reach out to some of these new companies. Video resume screening and everything. Listen, to get up and do a friggin' video and tell everybody about yourself on LinkedIn is awesome to do. I'm telling you. You know, LinkedIn and social media, but LinkedIn's for on there. You can really put yourself out there and find a job as long as you stay within your network and then reach out to networking. Reach out to the companies that you want to be hired by. Step out of that zone, safety zone. Step yourself out of that safety zone, and you're going to see results of it. Because for a person to get on LinkedIn like this right now that I'm doing on 5 different shows here right now, it's being broadcasted at 5 different simultaneously right now, all out. I say, hey, Al, I see Al on here on social media. Great friend down the street here. He's watching this. Other people from YouTube are watching it. Instagram, they're watching it. You know, the LinkedIn channel, my personal one here. Your Facebook, the Ring of Hire show is on Facebook. All of it is going directly. Why? Because I'm getting the message out that I'm talking about change, right? If you don't do this, if you don't do these kind of things, you're gonna still struggle. Alex, many companies with high turnover don't realize it's their own fault. They blame it on the employees. They leave, so they never change. Wow. That one there, Alex, I'm gonna leave it up for a minute, because that right there is when you're in meetings, right? And people say, well, 3 people left for another job. 2 people quit, no show. 3 people did this and went with another staffing company or closer to home. They're the things that you need. It's great to write them down. It's great. Okay. But if you don't do anything, If you don't do anything to correct those problems, because if you do and you look at your insights and you say, wow, look at they're leaving for another job all the time, and it's almost the same hourly rate. Why? Why are they leaving? Because you need to correct the friggin' problem right there, and then maybe you'll get some results out of it. But if you don't change, it's going to be, that's what the show's about, change. You're going to struggle by not listening to your employees or your customers. It's the same thing. When you purchase an item or when you get something done, you expect results because why? You're paying for it, right? If you base the same thing that we're talking about in staffing and finding employees and holding people accountable and bosses and employees, think about it. If you pay for a service, you want results. It doesn't matter. I don't want to hear you complaining. I don't want to hear your problems. But you're offering a service that I want to buy and purchase, and you need to show results, and you will take the loss. See, that's the thing. Think about it. If it's your company and you're putting it out there saying, well, we can promise you this. Listen, I saw on LinkedIn tonight, I almost wanted to go nuts. This one guy posted a friggin' thing. Are you looking for 1,000 employees? We can help you and guarantee within 90 days or get the hell out of here. I wanted to put, that was like a friggin' spam thing all the way. You can push that as far as you can go. That's a bunch of bull. That is ridiculous. There is no friggin' way that you're going to find 1,000 people within 30 to 60 or 90 days. But it caught your eye. You see what I'm saying? So it caught your eye, and that drew me right to that ad. Now, I looked at it and said, that's not friggin' possible. But there again, they got their message out of what you're saying, what people are feeling right now. It's the same thing with your employees. Find out why they're leaving and correct it. Maybe it's your point system, how they write up people. Maybe it's, again, bad bosses. We've talked about it for so many times. Maybe it's the shift, these crazy freaking shifts that they got people working on. I get tired of hearing some of the complaints and you don't do nothing about it. It's your fault. You will struggle if you don't change. That's just the way it is. You can continually say every week, well, we got problems. Well, we got problems. Well, this is wrong. This is wrong. We'll do something about it. Do it. Do it. Hey, Kenya loves it. But you're not going to get the results that you want. They're paying for you to promise you the world, and you don't perform. You would never go in today's market right now in staffing and tell them that we're going to find you all the people. Come with us. Oh, hell no. You need 2 or 3. You need 2 or 3 companies right now to even staff for you right now to be successful. But if some people would listen to change with the technology, the way it is, the new softwares, there's things on there that you can really utilize that will find you some candidates. Will it find you 100? No, but it might find you 50 or 40, and you're the winner. You get what I'm saying there? Because it just makes total sense. And then Stephanie says toxic companies have little chance to help there. It's always employees who pay the price. And to that, Stephanie, I'm going to end this up here soon, is the reason I love staffing and the reason I understand the Lehigh Valley, and I know all the companies because I spend hours. It might be like that OCD in a little bit, but I can understand and I know where the companies stand or what they're doing. All right. So that gives me a lot of knowledge. And when there's certain companies, listen, I would never staff for them in 100 years. I've been with a couple and I'd be like, oh, hell no. Because I know the way they treat their candidates. But there's good management there. There's some good people that really are great. And I'm like, damn it. I'm not going to send my employees there or candidates there because they treat them like crap. But that's their fault. It's their fault. If people are leaving and you're not changing, that's what it is. I'm going to leave you on this last note, but change is like a scale. I always tell people positive, negative, negative. Listen, when you're looking at weighing the situational changes, if you can prove, if you're going to go into a company or your company and your manager and you want to show them something different, you're going to say, listen, I found this great software. This new ATS system. It's way better than the junk that we're using here now for the last 15 friggin' years, and you won't change. It doesn't freeze up. It doesn't give you problems. It gives you new prompts so you don't have payroll issues. But then, no. Show them something. Go to them with the information. Send them an email. Make that email sound like you know what you're talking about, because you do. maybe one of those people like, whoa, come on in here. What is this? Show them. Don't just talk about it. You need to show people what you can do and how you can perform. That's the only way you're going to be successful with it. There's no other way around it. To get people to change, you have to show them. You got to show them the results. Change. And if you are struggling now, 2 weeks from now, you're going to struggle. 4 weeks from now, you're going to even struggle more. You might as well look at Christmas coming by the end of December and you're screwed. You have not learned anything, because in the next 2 weeks, I am telling you that a lot of the companies in the Lehigh Valley are going to be on alert, because this is going to be the most intense, the most friggin' intense peak season that you're ever going to see. And I say it with 100% confidence. You are going to see people leaving every single weekend because they're pissed off because the company won't change or do something. They're going to go right down to the other company. They're going to be hired. The one that is going to be successful is to change. And on that note, I want to thank everybody again for coming on. I always do. I appreciate it. And I hope you got out of this, for people who watch this later on, is go into your management. If you see a problem, talk about it, right? Go to your HR director. If they don't listen, go to somebody. Tell them you have this idea, you feel strong about it, it'll help, do it. Don't be afraid about losing your job of speaking up. If you can really help a company or help your manager, do it. If you say it professionally, not like sometimes you're not going to go in there and say, hey, use this. You're not going to, your tone is going to have a lot to do with it. But if that manager is any type of a leader, if he's any type of a leader in a leader's role, he should listen and take their the information that they want to do on the change for solve or anything like that, and bring it to your managers, and you'll be successful. And on that note, peak season ready. Alex, that's right. Appreciate it. And I will be back again on tomorrow night, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great night.